Welcome to Shirley Home Learning. Today we'll be learning about fractions. So the contents for today is what is a fraction, types of fractions, mixed fractions to improper fractions, equivalent fractions, and at the end you will have some questions to practice what you've learned today. So the learning objectives for today's lesson is to be able to recognize a fraction, to be able to identify the different types of fractions, to be able to convert a mixed fraction to improper fraction, and finally to be able to find the equivalent fractions of the various fractions. So what is a fraction? A fraction is basically something that represents the parts of a whole or a part of a collection of objects. So for example, if I write the fraction, say a quarter, that is a fraction. I could write a fraction like half, that is a fraction. So it's 1 out of 2 or 1 out of 4 and so on. A fraction has two parts. The number on the top of the line is called the numerator. So this one, I'm just writing the letter N, so that is the numerator. It tells us how many parts of the whole or a collection are taken. And the bottom bit or the number below the line is called the denominator. It tells us how many equal parts make a whole. A proper fractions are fractions in which the numerator is less than the denominator. So a quarter or a half that I have written, they are all proper fractions because the numerator is smaller. So some of the examples are, you could have 5/7, 3/8, 2/5. These are all examples of proper fractions. So what is an improper fraction? An improper fractions are fractions where the numerator is greater than the denominator. So let's look at some of the examples. You could have 7/2, 3/2, or 11/4. So these are various examples of improper fractions where you can see that the numerator is more than the denominator. The other type of fraction is called a mixed fraction. It's a combination of natural number and a fraction. So it's basically an improper fraction. So some of the examples are you could have 2.5 or 3/2/5 or 5/3/4. So where you can see the first part is a whole number and the second bit is a fraction. So that's why it's called a mixed fraction. So it's not a whole fraction as a whole, it's not a number as a whole. So it has got a whole number. So what is a mixed fraction? It is a form of a fraction which is defined as the ones having a fraction and a whole number. So for example, 2.25 or 5.5 or 3/1/5, these are all examples of mixed fractions. So in order to convert a mixed number to improper, we multiply the denominator with the whole number and add the numerator. So let's have a look. So here we have an example of 3 1/5. So we are going to multiply first the 5 with the 3. So that gives us 15. And then we are going to add the 1. So 15 plus 1 is 16. So here I have written 16. And then we write the denominator as 5. So you can also remember the acronym MAD. So first you multiply. So that is where the M comes from. Then you do the addition. So that's the A comes from. And then once you've done your multiplication and addition, you write the denominator at the bottom. So that gives us MAD. So you got to remember when you have got two or more fractions and they have the same result after simplification, then the fractions are equal and they are called equivalent fractions. So equi means equal and valent means the same value. So let's have a look. So here are two examples. So you've got half and you've got 2/4 and they are equivalent fractions. Or if I have a quarter and I want to make that into 12, So I have basically multiplied by 3. So in order to make an equivalent fractions, I need to multiply the top by 3 as well. So 1 times 3 is 3. So 3 and by 12 is an equivalent fraction of a quarter. Similarly, here I have got 6/12 and I need to find the equivalent fraction for 6/12. So here in this case, I can see that I can divide 6 by 6 to get 1. So I would do exactly the same thing. I would divide 12 by 6 to get 2. So half is equivalent to 6 by 12. So we can either multiply or divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number to make an equivalent fractions. So let's try together this equation. So in here we have got 1/3, which is something by 6. So you can see 3 times 2 is 6. So you do exactly the same thing. You multiply the top or the numerator by 2 as well. So 1 times 2 is 2. Now here again it says is equal to something by 12. So you can either start from the beginning or you can start from here as well. So 6 times 2 is 12. So you can do exactly the same thing. 2 times 2 is 4. So that is an equivalent fraction as well. So we do again the same thing. So 12 times 2 is 24. And then we do exactly the same thing. Times 2 is 8. So here in this case, 1/3 is equal to 2/6 is equal to 4/12 is equal to 8 by 24. These are all examples of equivalent fraction. Okay. Just remember, you have to multiply or divide by the same number, the numerator and denominator. So with this knowledge, now you are going to have a go at practicing some of these. Now before we do this, so this was where you have to remember the MAD. Okay, so the first one you multiply. So 3 times 3 is 9, add 2 is 11, and then you write the denominator 3. So you can have a go. Pause the video so that you have got some time and you can have a go at all the questions. You can try these equivalent fractions as well. So just remember, you are going to multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. So for example, 2 times something is 6, and then 5 times the same number is something. So 2 times what is 6? So you know it is 3. So if that is 3, you got to multiply this by 3 as well. So 5 times 3 is 15, and so on. So have a go, pause the video and try and finish these questions. Thanks for watching. Hope you are able to understand and follow the steps. Please get in touch with us if you have any questions. You can visit our website at www.shirleyhomelearning.com or email us at admin@shirleyhomelearning.com. Please like our video and subscribe to this. Thank you. Bye.